I'm genuinely obsessed with it. That and Sabrina Carpenter don't come for me. Like,
Yes, I and my audience are the kind of people that will come for you for your Sabrina Carpenter enjoyment.
I mean, as a straight man, you never know.
Hello and welcome to the Process Podcast. This is as much as we're getting for a formal intro. I mean, they do also have hello, welcome to the Process Podcast. That counts as a kind of formal intro. So that's the closest I get to regularity, but also the regular things I do is bringing you regularly good guests. And therefore today's guest, I like the fist pumping out of like, yes, I'm good.
Yes.
Yes, we have Thea with me today. Say hello, Thea.
Hi.
How are you feeling today?
Surprisingly good. It was sunny for like all day apart from like 5 minutes. So
I was about
good.
to question why this surprising. Like, were you about to not to be good today?
I don't know. Like, do we know in this economy? Like,
Valid points. Well, as I like to start all of these podcasts with, it's asking each of my guests, how did we first meet? Most of it answer is seemingly poetry events, unsurprisingly. But yes, how did we first meet?
I was at my for the first time at Process, and I was there because like Ellie told me about it. And I was like, okay, now I have to go to it. Okay. And I remember going up on stage, trying my best and like messing up the mic. I don't know what happened. Something was not tightened, of course, but like, yeah. So that got messed up very, very quickly. And then Kayla went in and like kind of pulled it up for a second and I had to hold it. I was like shitting myself. Am I allowed to?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool. I was shitting myself.
So I don't do this for money and monetization. This is not a supremely successful podcast. You're fine.
Okay, cool. So when we got introduced, the only thing I said was, I'm so sorry for the mic. And you said, no, it's fine. And I thought you hated me because I fucked up the mic.
I don't know if Ellie's ever mentioned it before, but I think I broke the mic twice at everything. To the point where at least one of the first times I broke it, and it was definitely a thing of like, no, mic stand's broken, I'm just going to buy Ellie a new one. And I literally just did buy her a new one, got her address, and like, oh, what's your address? I'm going to buy one and send it to your house because I definitely fucked up your last one. Which is also why I've got not bad mic stands at my house now because these can just about last.
Okay, so I can, no.
No, you are fine.
Well, like, yeah.
These are fine. These are built. I'm saying these are built to last. Watch it built to last and breaks it straight.
We can always test that.
Oh gosh, we can test that later. No, but to be fair, honestly, like I love Hackney Showroom. I love what they've done for Process. The mic stand there is shit. It is.
I think like I shouldn't have an opinion on it because like I wasn't able to like control it in any way. Like it just fell, and I tried to keep going. I've
been doing poetry for long enough and whatnot, and given that obviously I'm clearly the production guy for so many things, I am very aware of like, oh, that's a bad mic stand, and like I keep like to the point where I'm almost tempted to buy another mic stand for Hackney Showroom because it's like, this is not a good mic stand. It's just there are so many things it doesn't do right, and like this is where time is one of the nerdiest of the things is mentioned on this podcast, but I'm sticking to it now. Where like legitimately one of the things I like about Spit is that pretty much all their mic stands are good.
Like, those seem like sturdy, like they, yeah.
Like, in one of the possibly nerdiest things I could have ever done. I remember after filming one of the Spit once, when I was going through the video stuff, I was looking over the video to see what the name on the brand was for the mic stand, and then Googled it to think, I might have to buy that for myself. Which is the peak nerdiness that Tyrone can ever get to.
And like you were laughing at me because like I saw a camera or like I saw some camera at goddamn Poetry Jam that was called the Terminator 36. That's amazing. And you were like, no, that's so nerdy. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's where my nerdiness comes into it. But no, we're going to be focusing on you for this podcast rather than all the Tyrone's nerdy
Yay.
stuff. And with that, it means we're going to go into all of the timeline of Thea and how the whole creative stuff happened and etc. and all of that fun.
Yay!
For this, I frame it as a Charles Dickens thing, etc. And I'm fully aware we will go on tangents and stuff. This is completely fine. But basically, going into your past, present, and future as a creative. So, looking into your past, etc. Kind of like, were you always a creative person, or was there like a moment where like I want to do creative things?
I was a hyperactive kid, and my parents didn't know what to do with me. So first they tried piano. That didn't work out because trying to make a kid still stay still doesn't work out usually. And then at some point they tried like one of those, it was called a literary circle. Fancy. So we were just a bunch of nerds once a week for 3 hours writing. And I was like 8. I just learned how to write. And they were like, okay, go there. We need you out of the house now. Go there. So I started writing, but I thought poetry was really like, oh, maybe it's the same thing here, but back in Romania, like poetry is this amazing thing you cannot touch, and it's bullshit. So like I hated poetry growing up.
Was this like poetry in schools or where?
In school, in school, because I didn't have any like sort of relationship to poetry outside of school. So like in kindergarten, I used to like learn everyone's lines during the show, so I knew like everyone's poems, but I don't think I genuinely enjoyed it. I just liked being on stage and like being able to go, no, that's whatever. Being that smart one. So yeah. So I wrote for a while. I didn't write poetry. And then in like my last 2 years of high school, I started writing poetry kind of on accident, I think. Yeah.
Nice. And like, where did the performing come into it for you?
Okay. So there's like 2 sides to this story.
Okay.
So one might say that I started performing when I was like 14 and COVID hit. And the Hamilton team did like an open call for kids to write something and then perform it in front of a camera. So I did that.
Fair.
Yeah, but let's not consider that.
Why are we not considering that?
I don't know. I just had a discussion yesterday with someone who said, I just hate musicals. And I was like, that's fine. That's like absolutely fine.
I mean, I'm a big musicals fan. Unfortunately, because I don't work full time anymore, I don't get free tickets. But at the old job I was working, because our biggest clients were, one of our sister company was a company called AKA, who do a lot of theatre promotions and stuff like that. We worked on a lot of musicals in the West End, and we got a lot of free tickets. And also, I could offer them to friends and family quite a lot. Like, I saw Matilda 8 times and have not paid for it once, for example.
8 times?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There were so many I saw without paying for whilst I was working there, because it was literally, you would get the email on the Monday saying, do you want to go see Matilda the musical on Wednesday? For free.
Yeah. Of course, like drop everything and yes.
And that's the thing, like, because it was like a whole company of adults, etc. there and whatnot, that there was that thing of me being the single guy with no real commitment in that sense. Like, I could easily say yes to a lot of things when you got this person next to me is a parent and has kids to look after, so they'd have to sort out a babysitter or something, and nothing wrong with that, but that thing of like, well, yeah, I can go whenever. I'm flexible.
I can see Matilda 8 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I'm a musicals fan, so I'm not going to discount the Hamilton stuff. I'm counting that.
Okay, let's count that. But officially on stage, it was like a year and a half ago the people at Transylvania Spoken Word did an event in Bucharest. And I signed up without knowing what spoken word is.
Fair.
And then when you eventually got the form, you had a line saying, "So now tell us your poem." It's like, what? What's a poem?
Fair.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the first time I actually performed in front of, yeah.
And at the time, were you writing in Romanian or English or a bit of both?
No, just in Romanian. But it was like, I never got why you would write in English while you're, I I don't no, actually, I do understand it, but I cannot for the life of me write in English when I'm in Romania. I don't know what it is. Like, just, it doesn't make sense for me. I cannot, it's very hard for me to go up on stage in Romania and talk in English and write in English. It's like, we all speak another language other than that. So why are we like, why? Yeah.
No, when I was there for the Transylvania Spoken Word Festival, I was pleasantly surprised at how many people were like, I understood how people could speak English and kind of stuff, and like that thing of like, no, yeah, English is in so many places and this is accessible in that sense. I was pleasantly surprised at how many people also performing in English, and it's like, it was one thing for like the international showcase we did when it's like, oh, this international showcase, you found the common language for everyone. That makes sense. But then there was the slam the day after, and it's like, no, half of this is still in English, which is good for me because I'm in the audience listening, so I can listen to half the poems, but also like, you all live here. This is confusing to me now.
Yeah, it is confusing. But I think it's because right now it's almost like, it's still in like the developing stage.
Yeah.
Like spoken word in Romania, it's still in the developing stage. And when you're like brought up only like with English speaking poets, you kind of feel more comfortable to express things in English. Also, this is a massive tangent,
go for it.
but
we love tangents.
yeah, of course. This is why we do a podcast. There was like a whole movement. You know when you're like 16 and you're trying to be edgy? Well, in Romania, I think there was this thing when I was like 16 or 17 in which it wasn't cool to listen to like music in Romanian or like consume Romanian media because it's just uncool, I guess. I don't know why. I never got it, but I was part of this problem, being like, I cannot write in Romanian because it's like, who uses Romanian? Like a bunch of people. You use Romanian with your mom. Anyway, so that kind of also translated into like the spoken word scene, which is kind of hard to get rid of somehow. I don't know why. But I think we're slowly getting there, kind of, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. And like, I'll probably come back to this point later when I go to a different section, but...
Cool.
No, like...
Useful tangent.
So like, we'll later go on to a let's talk about section. I think it's... Again, that will go on so many tangents, but I think especially with you talking about the transition from Romania to here and just all that stuff is going to be fascinating to talk into, but... Focusing on primarily you for now, looking at your present now. Obviously, you are now a Roundhouse resident artist.
Yes. How did that happen?
With that, your writing has gone from not just spoken word pieces to just generally just writing kind of more for like different places such as well. So like, where would you say your present is now if you're writing? Like, what are you doing now? What are you looking to be doing now?
All over the place. Yay. No, but in a good way, because I think... I was brought up with you're doing one thing and you have to be like the best at it. That doesn't work. You cannot be the best at like spoken word or like the best in theater or
Tell
the
that
best.
to slam people. I guessed.
Okay. This is going to be another tangent. No. Yeah, so right now I'm doing a lot of things, Roundhouse included, in which I'm developing a piece that's like part spoken word, part, I don't know, recordings, part, oh, this is the first time director hears that. Poor person. Yeah, so just so you know, we also have like recordings and audios and participatory things with the audience. It's a mix of just theater and maybe a bit of like, I don't know, experimental, whatever that means, experimental theater, and like, I don't know, anything that involves writing and me being on stage, because I'm just like an attention whore. So like, I want to be on stage and
like,
write.
For you, especially right now, like obviously you're doing the writing stuff, and like it's with the idea of you performing it as well, not writing for other people.
Yeah, and mostly because I'm not confident enough in my writing to like give it to other people and kind of feel like it's going to be good. So it's much easier. I should talk about this in therapy, but like
That's what a podcast is for.
Yeah, it's much easier for like all the blame to be on me. So if it's shit, the writing is bad, the performance is bad, it's all me. Like, that kind of makes sense if you ask me.
No, I do get that. Like so I come from that's such a weird way of phrasing that, but like
You have a background.
I have a Kayla will kill me. Kayla's gonna kill me. Now, like I studied television production, so when I was in uni, a lot of my stuff was writing and working on like short films and stuff like that. So a lot of it was initially geared to someone else performs it, and like I have never been an actor or in that kind of way. So I've never wanted to like perform in that sense. But poetry has always been the thing for me. It was like when I'm doing this stuff, etc. This is the stuff I was doing, and like my poems and my things are so coded to Tyrone writes it and performs it in Tyrone's voice. And I know that this line works in my voice, but if someone else says it, it's like, put the inflection here.
Yeah, no. Like, take a breath here. Yeah. No, yeah. For me, that is terrifying. I cannot do it. Like, not now, at least. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
That's fair. And like with your writing, and I know we didn't touch on your like coming up to it, like how are have your themes changed also from when you started to when you are now?
Oh, yes. So when I started writing properly, I think, poetry, because for me it was like genuine, like an addiction, and not in a, yeah. So,
not in a healthy way.
Yeah,
wait, addiction but not healthy. Tell me more. How is that possible?
Yeah, so, no, but yeah, so once I realized that I can go up on stage and make people listen to me.
Yeah.
That's a very...
So I've got 5 minutes of people just sitting here, and they are like contractually obliged to sit here and just listen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a slippery slope to put someone on. Yeah, so I knew that once a month I can go up on stage and people have to listen to me. So my themes were very, very political back home. And they were like almost, yeah. So one of my dear friends in the poetry scene back home called me like the newsreel of poetry. Because once a month you go up on stage and you tell people what's wrong. It was like, I kind of like that. Yeah. You know what's hard? Talking about Romanian politics, not in Romania. Like trying to make the same jokes in another country that most of the time, but cannot like place Romania on a map. Yeah. It's very hard. So like the themes did change, kind of. But that's because I changed the context. So it became, I don't think my pieces became less political, but they're political in other ways.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So... yeah.
Well, like looking to now at the future section with your writing, obviously you're looking at doing more, I guess, longer form stuff as well as obviously the spoken word stuff and all that kind of vibe. do you have any goals, plans for the future, things you want to achieve, etc.? Or is it just kind of a vibe of let's see what the fuck happens kind of thing?
Yes, the second part. Yeah, the second option. I retain myself from having goals because if I don't achieve them, I know I'm going to be extremely upset. But I do kind of, I don't know, I have like one goal to try to the best of my abilities to not have another job other than creative things.
Yeah.
No matter what that means, that can be anything. But as long as it's creative, for me, like that's my goal. Not to have like a corporate job. So it's more like a non-go.
No, I respect that. Like, I'm very fortunate with the life I've lived for the most part, but in that thing of like, I went to uni to do television production and I came out of it to do video editing, which was, yes, office-based, working with clients, etc., but it was that nice vibe of, I have a creative outlet. Yes, there's so many other added things to it.
Yeah.
But I'm being creative on a relatively daily basis.
Yeah, exactly. You're like not stuck doing numbers. Not that there's anything wrong with doing numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that. And also just like going into more things. I want to experiment more. So right now I'm working with someone back home to do almost like a spoken word piece for like short animation. That's like, that's so cool. I don't know why they asked me to do it. But yeah.
It's always been that thing where like I look back over some of the things that I have been fortunate enough to do, and like there were so many good things in that list, but it was never like, oh, I want to do like I didn't plan on doing international gigs, except I didn't plan on doing commissions for some of these people. This has all been things that like, oh, you can offer me that. I didn't know that was a thing you could offer,
What do
etc.
you mean? Didn't all your life live up to you going to Cluj? I love Cluj, but this is
I mean, see, Cluj is one thing. It's the fact that, like, I don't know when I'm fucking releasing this episode, but it's more the thing of, like, the other week I did Ostrava in the Czech Republic, which was... I had fun there. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that festival. But for context, Ostrava is the third biggest city in the Czech Republic that has around a population of 250,000 people. That's the same size as Camden.
yeah. So
Like, Camden is inland. Like, Czech Republic on a whole has 11 million people, which equals London.
yeah.
Which is like, oh no, this is a very small festival kind of thing. And like I enjoyed like just the fun of, again, we're going to move into Let's Talk About section soon, but the fun of doing the Transylvania Spoken Word Festival was my first one. That was a really nice international one because most of the festival had English as an underlying thing, and like was done in such a wonderfully professional way. But
We
still,
won, you guys. We won.
But there was so much about it which was like wonderfully accessible to the fact that it had so many international artists from different places.
Yeah.
Had come some, like we had Sophia, who was like half American. What was it? Born in America, living in France, so covers those things. We had some poets that were living in Amsterdam and Dutch, some poets that were living in Germany at the moment, and therefore covering so many different languages. With the Czech one, I feel bad if I'm invited to a thing and like there's a whole weekend or something, whatever, and I attend a thing that I'm asked to do. I feel bad if I'm just doing that and not seeing anyone else. The problem is everything else here was in Czech. And it's like, I don't understand this, so I'm not going to be attending this. And they were fine with it. Like, they were definitely like a commitment to it. It's like, okay, cool. No, this is a very small town and you're doing lots of literature talks in Czech.
But
I'm
you can like
walk away.
Feel the yeah, maybe you like can feel the poem. You can feel the literature. I don't know. You would be surprised on how many websites that comes up. Yeah.
No, but like, that is all to say that like, there's so many things that I've been fortunate enough to do that I was never planning on doing, and looking at where the poetry scene is going now, there are so many opportunities, and like for all that people shit on social media, and we do, and rightly so a lot of the time.
Yeah.
there were also so many possibilities that come out with social media. Social media was able to connect Georgie Jones with Pitbull, for fuck's sake.
Which is that's like that's my Roman Empire. Like
that's your one goal.
That's
to
my
open
one.
For Pitbull.
I mean that just so everybody understands. My brother is like so not a poetry person, but when I showed him the fact that Pitbull reposted something related to poetry, he was like, "Yeah, that's cool." To get that from like a mathematical PhD, that's impressive. Like, yeah, that's my goal.
I feel like that's the thing, and like there are so many possibilities that obviously you can't engineer too many of them, but there are so many options there, which is great to know. So it's nice to keep the options open. But with the timeline stuff covered now, we're going to go into my next section called Let's Talk About.
Yes, tangents.
I love that perspective of coming over from Romania into here. So firstly, in general, how was that transition from coming from the new, just starting up Romanian spoken word section to the, London's got a fuck ton of history and too many nights kind of thing? Not to assume too much, but how was that change?
Yeah, okay, so to be like...
context.
Yeah, context. Okay, so actually, I think that Romania isn't that brand new at spoken word. So there are like people who've been doing it for more than 5 or 6 years. But that compared to London doesn't mean anything. So it's almost useless for me to say no, because it's not like 2 years, it's 10. Okay, now here is like 50. Anyway, it was a hard change. The biggest difference was the fact that home, there were like 2 nights per month.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, 1 night per month. And you would go once on stage and that was it. And it's almost... even in London, it's a bit cultish what's happening with, But just imagine a post-communist country doing poetry that still has like, so many roots to like problematic things, meeting once a month to talk poetry. I love the Romanian spoken word scene, but it's really hard to break into it as a new writer because you're not seen as serious or like an actual performer or that you know what you're doing, and you're judged at every step, and people who are, I don't know, actors and also performance artists are frowned upon because they're like tainting the stage, and they're not like keeping themselves pure for the theater. So it's very hard to come from like that context to London where nobody gives a shit. Like everyone's like, yeah, I'm here because my job ended early and I wanted to do something this night.
Yeah.
So I think in some ways I'm more able to kind of be grateful for what's happening in London, but also it gives you one of those uncomfortable positions in which you kind of understand why people are making the like mental shortcuts for certain things. So being here a lot makes me understand why people back home who do get to be on stage once a month behave the way they do. And on the flip side, coming from Romania, I see like a bunch of people here and I want to judge them, but I can't because...
I mean, you can judge them. I judge people a lot all the time. That's how I am.
Okay. Problem solved. I feel like I need to judge some people, but I can't because I understand certain thing. Yeah. But it's a cool experience to get the both sides of it.
Nice. And like when you came over here, like
I feel like I said nothing in like a span of 45 seconds.
welcome to podcast.
Like I said nothing. Okay.
Like when you came over here, then like were you always a thing of like, I'm gonna be a part of the spoken word scene here, or was it a kind of thing of like, well, why not? Like, was it? Again, I know you didn't mention you didn't do goals as such, but like, were you seeking out poetry when you came over here? Or
Yeah, my goal was to like meet people. No, I'm a very very awkward person, and I don't like people. I mean, I like people watching and experiencing people, but I don't really like people. So I wouldn't go to a bar to meet people. But I would go to a poetry event that's in a bar to meet people. So for me, it was more of a, I know I like doing this. It's a good way to get out of the house and meet mostly strange people. So let's go. So I took one of my freshly new friends to a spoken word event, and I was like, people here are very welcoming and nice and cool. I think I can be social in this context. So it was much more about that. And then I started meeting people. And yeah. So like, yeah. Because the first time I went to a slam, I didn't know what the slam was. But I was like, that's cool. I kind of like that. Ooh, there are like people who like do this, but like in another way, and I started like being intrigued by that, and then I just watched all things online ever, and no, I think I finished YouTube. I think yeah. So yeah, that was it for me. So it was mostly social at first, but then I started going to more and more nights, and it became kind of a, oh, actually, I think I can do this. There's something here.
nice. And like, obviously we talked about like how you're talking about politics change, but it's more about a contextual thing and like how people understand different things. But like, obviously being over here, there's been obviously a lot more writing in English, etc. How is that? How much has that changed? Like, is it literally just the thing of just translating, for lack of a better phrase, or is it properly, oh, it's English, it's a whole different way of writing and approach to writing?
I cannot translate a piece for the life of me. It just sounds bad. If I tried translating like things from Romanian to English, and they're horrible. It's like the most horrific thing. Not the most horrific, but for me it is the most horrific thing. I cannot translate anything because it's a lot. I don't know, maybe it's like you have to like translate the language and then translate the culture and then try to find jokes that match. And then like trying to make something funny in English when it was funny in Romanian, that just doesn't work because like there are different levels of messed up. Yeah.
It is like, my only context for this, I say only context, my main context for this kind of stuff is like, I mentioned the NBA before, and like a lot of the stuff we were doing was working with the European offices of the NBA. And with that, a lot of our stuff was going out to Spain and Germany and Greece because they're really big basketball places. So we'd do things in English and have to like subtitle them, and we'd have to give it to people to subtitle them. And like, you can't do one for one sub thing because some of it is a context or a turn of phrase thing, and like that phrase only exists in English. That phrase does not exist in French.
Yeah.
So if you give it to French, you can translate it word for word, and this is what that sentence, the sentence you said, here is a translation.
Yep.
It means something different, but the words are accurately translated.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's very, very frustrating. But I think, like, and this is what I'm working towards, maybe that's a goal. I think you don't need to translate everything. And like, that's sort of like the beauty of it, of being able to come from like, I actually researched this. This is like the nerdy part. But Romanian has like 1/3 of like the vocabulary that English does. So just like looking at the numbers,
because that's what poetry is about.
yeah. Horrible. Horrible. But the Romanian language is much more creative with describing stuff because you don't have as many words as you do in English. So like my brain is already wired in a way to like combine different things to describe other things. And for me, poetry is finding words to describe other things. So like coming from with that kind of mindset to English, that's actually quite cool. And you can find things that are interesting and you wouldn't have thought about them before.
Yeah, and like with your writing obviously now, and like seeing you perform, like it's been wonderful seeing this, like what just general you are a good performer. It's nice seeing how well it's also received over here. But like with that, what I always find fascinating, and it's the thing that happens in like, to be fair, it's the thing that happens in a lot of different cultures and art forms where most of the poetry will be in English, but you'll have lines and phrases in Romanian still. Firstly, for you, how do you feel performing and I say knowing, but like assuming that these lines are not going to be for anyone in this room here, but this is for me? How is that for you in terms of your piece of writing kind of thing?
It's very hard not to. I'm really, really struggling with this because I have been told that it's like
For those, again, it's probably not picking up on the microphone, but those who aren't aware, we've got the thunderstorms playing on in the background because London is great. It was probably sunny literally an hour ago. Now we have thunderstorms because England.
It feels like I'm about to say like the most horrific thing, but
pathetic fallacies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I have been told that it can be a artistic mechanism, and that just hurts because I get why it would be an artistic mechanism. But at the same time, can you just like let me have a phrase that my mom used to say in Romanian that I cannot I genuinely cannot put it in English because it would just sound like my mom cannot, in my mind, my mom cannot go, daughter.
Yeah.
Right? So just let me say fică, pește on stage and just get on with it. It's not, I don't think that it's that deep sometimes. Sometimes it is that deep.
Yeah.
And I try to use it like as a thing in itself. So, for example, when I genuinely don't want to translate something, it's because I think the poem works without it being translated, and that proves a point almost. So I don't know, but I think you can see it in the poem where that thing stands. Because if it's like a poem about, I don't know, I have one about trying to get on London. Like if it's about that, that's not deep at all. So when I say something, it's just like that was just natural. But then I have poems about not being able to translate yourself. Of course, there are things that aren't going to be translated. So,
like, it's the idea that I do admit, again, especially given this, I know it's different ways, but especially given the kind of poetry I write as well, it's the idea that every single line must be 100% able for everyone to get completely, which I don't think is a thing in art in any form, but people kind of almost expect that it must give me a way in all the time kind of thing, and not every art piece has to do that. Like some things, like I do so many reference things, and like I've always kind of had the belief and thought process that you don't have to get every reference, and there'll be some references that go over people's heads. That's completely fine. the gist of the poem stays the same. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like the crux of you understanding the point of this poem lies on this reference. Even with me doing Fast and Furious related ones or Star Wars ones, you could have not watched Fast and Furious. That wasn't the point of the poem, kind of thing. Like, it's an added layer. It helps as a bonus, but the poem exists without Fast and Furious. This Fast and Furious, nice colour to it.
Yeah, and it's okay, sometimes it's just like silly. It's just a nice Easter egg.
Yeah.
So when it comes to references, I have a poem in which it says, this poem is the danger. The fact that nobody got that was like a Breaking Bad reference for like the first 3 times
So,
I performed it, that was okay. But when one girl came up to me and said, yes, that poem knocks, I was like, yes, you get it.
I have in my I am Groot poem, I list over all the things I am, and there's one page where I am the danger, I am the one who knocks, I am the king beyond the wall. I've got an I am danger referencing my. But no, like no, it is that thing in like, oh, so in my mum poem, for example, I reference the actors my mum has a crush on, and I'm very aware every time I do it that it's got like she's got a love for Idris and Denzel and a bit of Will and all of Adrian Lester. I'm very aware. Idris Elba, very well known. Will Smith, very well known. Denzel, very well known. Adrian Lester, not that well known. I love him and like more well known in the UK because he was part of Hustle, but still not the most well known stuff.
Yeah, so I had to Google him.
So that when people do laugh at it, and it's like, You were that one person that got it. That's who it was for. The rest of you don't give a shit right now. You were that one person this poem was for, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think there shouldn't be anything bad with that. Because the poem still stands. Like,
Yes.
it's not like it's excluding anyone, the fact that you don't get it. And like just having someone at the end of the poem come up to you and be like, oh my God, I also speak in Romanian.
Yeah.
Like, yes! Like, I wouldn't have known this about you if I didn't go up on stage and had like a sentence there.
Well, I guess then to kind of follow up on this, I know you've kind of touched a little bit there, but to go further in this, like, how, obviously some of it is that these words can only be in Romanian for you, but for some of them, like, how intentional is it of like, I need some Romanian here kind of thing? Like, is it, like, because obviously some of it, as you said, is this word that doesn't translate properly, I'm so used to it, or how much of it is like, fuck, I'm gonna have some Romanian, that's just fun of it kind of thing.
Again, I think it really depends on the poem. I try to be intentional with it when I'm here because to some degree, if there's a lot of Romanian, it does leave people out.
Yeah.
A bit. So I try to be as intentional, although like I'm having fun with it, I'm trying for it to be intentional and not like get you out of the poem and like ruin the thing for you. On the other side, I recently wrote for like the competition back home. And I had the poem that was...
How did you do in that competition?
I'm representing Romania to Berlin. Oh my God. Anyway. No, but now I feel like I need... Oh my God. Okay. But no, I didn't bring that up. Okay.
I just know... One of the things, so here's the thing that I always pride myself on, especially when hosting, is that I am forever online. So I keep up with a lot of people and a lot of what they're doing, etc. So even if they get on stage and they just do their open mic and they leave, whatever, I'll be like, oh yeah, this person who's running a night next week because they haven't mentioned it, or this person who's won this thing recently, and they're just choosing not to mention it. I'm going to make sure we mention it because they need to get their flowers sometimes.
Aww. Okay. But no, the point was actually that I wrote a poem that it was basically half Romanian, half English, and I would go in and out of English and like in and out of Romanian and speak in English. Here's the thing, when you write for like a Romanian audience, those are completely different contexts. So that became, I think I had a bit more fun with it, but it was also more intentional on why I was doing it.
Yeah.
Like bigger why this is a poem that's half in Romanian, half in English. Because it's not going to have the same effect as it does here, because everyone understands English. So it might be a switch, and they might need to be like more present in the room to actually, get everything I was saying. But, most people my age back home do speak like 2 sentences in Romanian and 2 sentences in English, because it's become like so normalized. So it's more about, okay, so what's the bigger why? Why am I like switching between languages? And for that particular poem, it was about immigration and how you kind of have this word you cannot translate, but you kind of can, maybe, I don't know. So that was like the whole spiel of it. And it worked being into languages because it proved the point.
That's the thing, like, as much as that, there is that balance between there are some things which you just can't translate, etc., and just need to stay in their original form. But there are also the things where, like, as much as you not saying don't want it, as much as it's not always a tool, sometimes no, but I can use it a tool in this instance, etc., kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, so one of my favourite, I don't think I've actually told it to her face, and now she's left the country for a bit, I'm not going to tell it to her face for a while now, but, like, there's a poem that Bella Cox has that she doesn't perform anymore, and I'm very aware of that because I had her perform it for me. This would have been 2017, so a while ago, I want to say. But she had a poem called Dear Dad. Mm-hmm. I fucking adore that poem. Partly because I'm always drawn to absentee father poems. I'm aware that's definitely a weakness for me. Like, I'm here too, I feel that. But she has a poem that's called Dear Dad, and most of it is in English, but then she switches to Spanish because her dad, I believe, speaks Spanish, is Spanish, does not speak much of English. So as she phrases in the poem, like, let me speak in a language you don't understand, etc. And then there's a stanza in Spanish, which is like, I have no idea what you're saying, but you've set this up so well that, like, what the actual specific words, not that they don't matter at all, but, like, this doesn't matter right now. The vibe of what you set up here is the thing, and it's like, this is perfect and great kind of thing in that sense. So when it comes to, so obviously you mentioned using it as a tool there, like, going forward, is it definitely a thing of, like, almost like in your back pocket of, like, I can bring out Romanian if I need to sometime just to add something else to it?
Oh, I just love adding Romanian. Like, sometimes it's not even necessary. And I'm like, yeah, but in some ways, I feel like, especially like English speaking audiences need to be more comfortable in not
getting everything.
Not getting everything. Yeah, I think sometimes you just need to be the one that doesn't get it. And that's fine. Because especially with like the scene here, I think everything it's like so catered. Or although like people are trying to make it as like diverse as possible, it's still catered to a specific type of people. So sometimes it's just nice to go, you know what? This is not, you don't need to get that. And that's fine. It's just a bit of like making people aware of where they stand in the world. Like, this is a bit of, but no, because it proves the point. But you know the To All Straight Men poem? I had like straight men coming up to me being like, yeah, but don't you think like the, I don't know, part is a bit rageful? I was like, but it's not for you. You don't need to get it.
But you address it to all straight men and everything's just all straight men all the time, therefore it is for us. And yes, us, I'm including myself in this because clearly I am, again, the beacon of straight men here. Vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Listens to Andrew Tate before going. Listen.
Like this podcast is dedicated to Andrew Tate. Like I'm hoping that I want to get you as a. I mean, no. Honestly, legitimately, I would love to get you as a guest in this podcast at some stage. That'd be hilarious.
Yes.
It would go so badly, but I would love that at some stage.
No, but like that proves the point of maybe sometimes not everything needs to be about that particular you. And that's fine.
No, that's completely fair. And I guess almost not quite to wrap it up, but kind of as we're coming kind of to the end of this, obviously you will have like, would you ever consider like doing a poem that's like, completely in Romanian to an English audience kind of thing? Like I know obviously like in a world where K-pop is definitely very much more popular, and I know admittedly some of it is the English translations of K-pop songs, or K-pop songs being done in English, but in a world where K-pop is definitely much more of a thing, you got like music. Music, I think, is a much more of acceptable thing. Much more common thing. Better phrasing, a much more common thing to be done in like listen to different languages, even though you understand it. How would you be tempted to do as a full Romanian poem, as either a poem at an open mic, or like for example, if you're doing the full show, this poem is in Romanian, the rest of the show is in English, but like this poem is going to be in Romanian no matter what?
I don't really know. I would like to do that to some degree, but I sometimes feel like it has to be what I do on stage, it has to be for someone, not just for myself. So I would do like a poem fully in Romanian if I knew like my Romanian friends were there, for example. But I wouldn't do a poem just for the sake of doing something for me if I knew nobody was going to get it. So it's more of a when I'm talking about all of this, it's not about like completely shutting off like English audiences, because this is where like I work right now. This is where I study. So of course everything I do is going to be slightly catered to an English audience. If I am going to do it again, I think it's more of a I need to have a why almost, because like and with poetry I want people to get it, and like as much as whatever I can rebel against whatever I still want people to enjoy it. I think that's almost like my job. I mean, is that a dirty word? That's my, if I want to do this long run, that's my job, right? To make people like what I, not like, but be sort of entertained by what I do. I also kind of have an issue if people are going to be fully entertained and transformed if I'm doing a poem they have no idea what's about.
Oh, she's so smart. She speaks another language.
Yeah, because that's, I don't like that at all. Because some people do say, oh, I always think that your work is cultural.
I don't want to kink shame anyone here, but that is a very weird fetish of like, oh, this person speaks another language, therefore they are clearly better and or more attractive and or whatever.
It's just, no. And that, no. It's one big no. That's just like a bad thing when it comes to like the educational systems in other countries. Like people, I do think people should speak more than one language.
No, completely fair. Well, I guess to wrap up this kind of section as well, kind of
cool.
Not to go fully on the kind of, again, I always talked a lot about the whole transition between Romania and England, etc., and that kind of stuff, but kind of a lot of it also comes down to audience, so to kind of wrap it up, if you will. When mentioning, talk about the straight men, etc., or mentioning having like Romanian friends on the audience, etc., whether it's writing or performing, how much does the audience play a factor in your creative thinking? Like, when you're writing a poem or writing a piece, are you thinking of the audience whilst you're doing it, or do you write it first, think of the audience after? What is the role the audience plays in your creative approach?
I think the audience comes in when I want to make it better. So I write the thing, and when I start editing it, that's when I start thinking about the audience. But then again, that changes because when I am back home, if there is something I feel like I need to talk about on stage, I am almost like writing it for the audience. Because if you're gonna be like the poetry newsreel, you need to like cater it to the audience, and you need to know your audience and know when that guy who's always on his phone is going to look up. So it's almost like, but that's, I feel that kind of borderlines on like activism and other stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, completely fair. Well, that's a nicely, actually, honestly, a surprisingly succinct way of doing that and answering that in a very good way there.
Yes.
So that now end our Let's Talk About section, and now we're going to go into my favourite section. And yes, I'm biased with my own sections. We're going to go into my favourite section, our last section called Slow Fire Questions.
Yeah.
Yes, well now we're going to go into my slow fire questions section where basically, so as I've been doing for the, oh god damn it, this is when I time this is how long I've been doing shit for. I have been doing various process things for over 8 years now. And one of the things that's been consistent is I like doing a thing called quick fire questions, where I ask my people as many questions as I can in 3 minutes. But in doing that, I like some of these questions. I think some of them deserve more time to be explored and explained and go into all of the depths and all of that fun jazz. So we're going to probably go through, let's say, 5 of these at random and explore them now. So, Thea, can you please give me a number in between 1 and 100?
72.
Then we're going to start off with, would you call yourself a poet?
No.
Why not? As the poet who's representing Romania in Berlin, why would you not call yourself a poet?
Because I think... I like the verb better. I just like saying I do poetry, or I write poetry, or I perform poetry.
But you're not a poet.
I don't know what that means. I've been like traumatized from being young to here, in which like everyone is like, no, everyone's a poet. Okay, back home I was told that no one's a poet, apart from like 5 dudes.
So, is there anyone you'd classify as a poet?
What?
Who would you classify as a poet?
I don't know. People who like classify themselves, I guess. It's almost like if you think you're a poet, great, you're a poet. Yeah.
What would make you a poet?
I don't know. I don't think there is any criteria. I just don't like saying I'm a poet. In my mind, it still sounds... This is just maybe...
Imposter syndrome style.
Maybe. Now that I'm talking through... it does sound...
Now we're doing therapy.
Now we're actually doing therapy. No, but I do think it's some level of, like, growing up with the notion of you have to achieve a certain thing to become a poet, but we've never been told what you need to achieve. So we're like, I don't know, when people start telling you are a poet, but then again, I go up to people who write once every 3 years and I go, you're a poet, right?
So Thea, winner of slams, person who's been booked for features, resident artist at the Roundhouse, is like, yeah, but still not a poet.
No, but like I do poetry. I do poetry. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Give me another number, please.
Because that went just great. 12.
12. Then we are going for, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, I know.
And why is it putting me something from Hamilton?
No, it's not. That was my first thought. My first thought was like, that's definitely no. But I think like the optimal, nobody wants to hear me sing. And I swear to God, no one should like just know. Boho Days from like Tick Tick Boom, because it's so easy. It has like one tone and it's mostly spoken through.
Are you a fan of karaoke as a whole?
Just I never know with this question. What?
Because it's such a deep question.
No, but like I'm a fan of karaoke, of like being with my friends, having like something on TV or listening to music and singing along. But as a thing, karaoke is not a big thing in Romania. So I've never been to like a place to do karaoke. I think that's almost insane.
I'm putting it on the record now. I will be taking Thea to a karaoke thing in the next 12 months. This is the kind of thing that's going to happen.
No, but like, why do you need to go to a specific place to just like have like, I don't know, lyrics on? You can just have the instrumental.
Here's where Tyrone promotes a business that we are in no way sponsored by in any way, shape or form. But for anyone who is familiar with the Dalston Superstore chain of people, there is a place in Dalston called the Karaoke Hole. The Karaoke Hole is open, I want to say, Thursday, Friday and Saturday nights. Might be Sunday as well. Don't quote me on that as I'm saying it to the record, etc. They do karaoke there with a drag queen hosting each night and have different drag queens coming there, and it's a fun vibe of that. So they'll be hosting and they'll be providing entertainment, and it's in the bar space, so it probably will be you go up on stage and perform to the room, but everyone is all there for the karaoke. They're all there to have a drink, etc. It's a fun vibe with the karaoke one, and that's what I lean towards in that thing of, oh, that's a fun reason to go out for karaoke.
Oh, okay.
Similarly as well, Rebecca Cooney, for example, for the past few years now, when Rebecca Cooney does her birthday drinks, what she'll often do is drinks from midday or so onwards, and then when it gets to 8 p.m, she's already booked the karaoke bar upstairs.
Because that's how many hours it takes Brits to get.
I mean, I will karaoke now, to be fair. I mean, okay, I know I've been drinking, which defeats the point, but nevertheless, I will karaoke whenever. I'm not great at it, but I've got the energy and enthusiasm for it, so I will karaoke whenever. So don't lump me with other Brits in that sense.
Okay.
No, but like, those are the two main karaoke things I have experienced, and like, I like it in that sense, in the, there's drag queens, extra entertainment, differently communal and group.
Yeah,
that's the reason to go out.
Yeah,
or it's a friend.
I'm sold for that one. Yeah, to that one I would genuinely go. Yeah.
And that's what I'll probably bring you to at some point in the not too distant future. But yes, another number, please.
56.
56. Then we are going for, what are you obsessed about?
Right now, or like in
what are
general?
You obsessed about?
I don't know, words. Of course, I'm obsessed with words. But right now, there's this one song from Irina Rimes called Hora Fetelor, and it's like, I don't know, it's a banger. It's just like, and I'm genuinely obsessed with it. That and Sabrina Carpenter don't come for me. Like,
yes, I and my audience are the kind of people that will come for you for your Sabrina Carpenter enjoyment.
I mean, as a straight man. You never know with.
I mean, I can't argue. I can't argue. I mean, I would go on my thing. My main defense at the moment is Kayla's been posting so much Sabrina Carpenter stuff.
I love it. I don't know whether it's okay or not to like everything.
You can like everything.
Yeah, I
You're
did like
fucked.
everything. But it's like, yes. Yeah.
So later we're going to recreate the Sabrina Carpenter pictures. We're going to do that as a photo shoot later.
Yes. When it's like, I could talk about Sabrina Carpenter so much. Anyway.
I will say that for the next podcast we do. Give me another number, please.
19.
19.
I don't like odd numbers. I don't know why I said that.
Oh, so for open mics, what do you prefer? Names out of a hat or first come, first serve?
Names out of a hat.
Because Thea doesn't come on time. Is that what we're saying?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've been late, actually late to an
I like actually late.
No, you know
kind
the,
of late, but not
no,
actually late.
no, but you know, like the whole like doors open at and it starts at. I've always been before it starts at.
fair.
So technically, I've never been late. No, I like names out of a hat because I think when it's first come first served, people are. I mean, generally, people are going to Poetry Nights to have their moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, I'm not judging that. But when it's first come, first serve, it's even more like, oh, I'm going to perform. So it's a lot more focus on yourself and like your specific moment, in which I feel when it's like names out of a hat, because you don't know whether you're going to be on stage or not, you kind of need to just be present and enjoy what's in front of you.
I hate the idea of devil's advocate. The devil does not need an advocate, etc. But as producers had to play so many of these things differently, etc. I am also, well, like, I will do a lot of things, clearly names out of a hat, but I'm also aware that, like, whether it's for anxiety or other again, or like,
Oh, okay.
from an anxiety point of view, from a producing point of view of, oh, I know I'm going to perform, so I can therefore invite my friends, etc. How do you personally feel about knowing that, oh, I know I'm definitely going to perform tonight, compared to I don't know if I'm going to perform tonight?
I'm trying to understand. No, I got what you were asking. I think if I know it's not like 100% possibility that I'm going to perform, I know that I like the night a lot. Like, I know that I'm going to be there and enjoy
Enjoy
it
it
regardless.
Yeah.
So I'm much more intentional, I think, with my like bookings and like paying tickets, for example. So if I don't know if I'm going to go up on stage on like everything or process, I will still go because I just love it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if it's something I'm not as sold, but I know I want to perform, because sometimes I think it's nice just to want to perform and perform because you feel like you want to perform. And maybe that's not your audience. Maybe you're doing there to experiment. Maybe you have like a shit poem and you want to like just blurt it out. That's when it's more about me having a space and less the night itself, I think. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. And inviting my friends. I just want my friends to listen to poetry, not my poetry.
That's a good answer. I mean, a lot of people, they're a lot more either selfish or vain than you in that sense.
No, but like, I can't even go to my friends being like, no, come see me perform because I'm like, whatever. No, there are like much like, there are people who are doing it like to another level. No, come see them. Like, if I go up on stage, perfect. But you should come see Holly McNish, you know? Like, I think, you know?
That's a lot more of a selfless answer than I think a lot of poets would do or give, etc.
I just like poetry. Like,
we love that.
Yeah.
I know I said 5, but I'm going to ask you 2 more, which means we'll take up to 6. Give me another number, please.
Okay, so I gave like an odd number. Now I have to give another odd number, so at least it's like an even number of 30.
Okay, sure. No, cool. Go.
37.
37. Do you collect anything?
Yes, I collect. I mean, first of all, tickets. I like when shows give out like, and I can have like a
Physical ticket.
a physical ticket. So that, and also my friend always like brings me a little like rubber duck when we see each other. We haven't seen each other for like a year now.
I'm going to point over there.
Yeah, see, you have a massive collection of
off
2.
off camera.
I have 3. Yes, I won. No.
I'm realizing ever so slightly whether it comes to slams or duck competitions or whatever, Tate is definitely a little bit competitive.
I am a little bit competitive, but there's a reason. I grew up with like a brother who's like 7 years older, and we used to like just race to like who gets first to like dinner. So like I have 3. I won.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Last question, therefore last number, please.
96.
Then we are going
Insane.
all the way down to, what is your favorite YouTube video?
Wait, because I need to. No, I think I need to like give a proper answer to this.
I want to see where this goes.
Oh, every time I feel like I miss home, I watch like 2 bloopers from the 2000s from like the national television back home. They're like, people were just like starting to swear on camera because they weren't allowed to until then. And it's like the most beautiful thing to see like those posy people being like, fuck. Like, it's just something beautiful. So probably one of those compilations. Yeah. What's your favorite?
Oh god, she turned it around. Okay, cool. No, favorite YouTube video. I generally discount all music videos. That feels weird to put as a favorite.
No, it has to be like something you would only find on YouTube.
No,
Almost.
I know my dumb favorite. So I have.
So don't say like a scene from a movie.
No,
That's
yeah,
what I mean.
Yeah, so I've got 2 YouTube videos that just really tickle me. That really shouldn't, and are very specific and of a very internet era. Which, to be fair, nowadays they would have been TikToks, etc. Nowadays, given how short they were.
You wanted to say Vine.
I want to say Vines because I was also a Vine era. Like they're. I think my second favorite one. This is such an old school one. Is I was an early Jonas Brothers fan. And there is a video where they are backstage at an event, whatever. It is. I can't remember. It's 2 of them that are standing outside. There's a door in the background, and they've got a table in front of them. 2 of them turn the table. The other one comes through the door and go, "Oh, how the tables have turned!" And that is the entire video. That is all it is, and it's just so like, this is dumb, and I fucking love it.
That's like the beauty of it.
Yeah, which is just like. You put this like, which is why it would be that would be a TikTok nowadays kind of thing, but it literally just like a 16-second video, literally them turn a table, pose, and then say a line, cut. That's it. There is no more, nothing promoted, nothing written, etc. That is all it is.
And I think we lost the ability to truly enjoy finding those things now with like social media, in which like you scroll and you like stumble upon it.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to YouTube, you literally stumbled upon it. Like you cannot search.
Oh yeah, like my favorite one though, and this is thinking over again. I can probably I can make an argument for Britannic stuff because Britannic were a very good comedy duo that have a lot of things on YouTube. So if I'm being like what I don't think is the best YouTube videos, I can probably mention some of their short skits, etc., stuff like that.
You were asked your favorite.
But my favorite one is there is
different question.
I don't know her name. It is a random YouTuber from back in the day. I don't even think they were an influencer kind of thing, but it's a YouTube video. It was around the time Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball came out. There was a YouTuber that's just eating cereal, listening to Wrecking Ball. And the video lasts, I want to say, 30 to 45 seconds. So you hear the whole first verse of Wrecking Ball, And it's like just eating cereal, probably having too much too big of a big bite. And it's like, okay, this is just thing, but like nothing else is happening. Then when it gets to the chorus, I came in like a wrecking ball. A medicine ball comes from out of camera, comes in, knocks her off the screen, knocks the cereal out of her mouth. It's like, no, that's funny. That works. That is so stupid, and it just works for me. So probably it's just a whole 45-second commitment to the bit of just, no, we're doing this. I'm going to wait till I come in like a wrecking ball thing, and I'm going to build that up. And when it comes in, I came in like a wrecking ball, poof, and knocked on the screen. Really gets me every time. So yeah, that is my favourite YouTube video.
I liked the just like clearing your tears and being, yes, that's my favorite.
I've got to be professional because I need to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Oh yes, thank you for joining me on this podcast today, Thea.
Thank you for inviting me. That was not as stressful as I thought, but yeah.
I told you, it's going to be fine and conversational.
Yeah, but the things people say.
Trust the straight man.
Never. From like my last 2 weeks. Like never. No.
Well, I need to wrap this up now so I can talk to Thea more about straight men because I need to know more about this bullshit. Nevertheless, Thea, you have a camera here. If you want to be found online or promote anything, where can you be found? What do you want to promote?
Okay, cool. On Instagram at that one Thea underscore.
Promo camp here. Promo camp
Yes. Nailed it. And to promote, just come see my show at Voila Theatre Fest on the 11th of November. If this podcast comes out before.
I'm going to put it to my challenge to myself now. This will be out before November. I think I can do that.
Oh my God. Wow.
I think I can do that.
Nice. Okay, that. And I don't know, just like if at some point I'm doing something at Roundhouse, please people come so they don't think they made a terrible mistake.
Why I get really regretful. It's like, we fucked up here now. Like,
oh my God.
Like, is it too late?
Oh my God, it's always like the Romanian. Oh my God.
I mean, we've got other Romanian poets in the UK now, so we can surprise you with them now.
Contact me, please, if you like speak Romanian. No, there are a lot of Romanians.
I had to be careful not to do that thing of like all Romanians know each other because like when they came to One Night Slam, it's been like I don't want to assume.
But we didn't know each other,
exactly.
See, so you shouldn't.
Exactly, that's what I'm not assuming, but also like One Night Slam's not the most attended events. No, another Romanian poet here. Okay.
Yeah, Piram, but like this is like numbers. Romania is the most spoken language in London, apart from English. So you know, like the chances are, yes. Let's.
Wait.
I don't know. I wanted to. No, I'm not going to.
Like you started off strong. I give that. Don't know where it's gonna get turned off at the end, but you started off strong.
So you can find me on Instagram at that one Thea _
And that was clearer and better there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're here, you know about process. The whole point is this is on process shit. So do we need to, like, you're here, process stuff. You know process is the Tyrone shit. I'm not selling the stuff anymore. Like, yeah, cool, fine. But this has been the Process Podcast. Thank you for listening or watching or enjoying this. I'm hoping you enjoyed it in some way, shape, or form.
Please.
We are Tinkerbells. We need your appreciation. We need this or we will die. So please don't let us die. But
yes.
As I end all of the things, I have to end all of the things this way now because this is now the catchphrase. This is now the consistent thing. We love you all. Now fuck off. Goodbye.
Yay! Oh my God, it's done.